Hey there everyone, Power here, and welcome back. Today I have a video that's going to showcase two different things going on in World of Warships. First thing you'll notice here on the loading screen, you'll notice that the teams are not very balanced. My team has 4 additional ships. No, I'm sorry, is it 4? 4, yeah, 4 additional ships over the enemy team. And this is because what you can't actually see here is if you look at the enemy team's carrier, the Phantom, that's actually a tier 10 carrier. So this is part of the Halloween event that's going on, where they've made these special, there's 2 special ships. There's the carrier and then there's a cruiser. The carrier is a tier 10, I forget what it is. It's the American tier 10, which is, I guess, the Midway. But it's been nerfed down a little bit. So while the main ship itself is tier 10, its fighter wings have been nerfed. So like its aircraft fighters only have 1 plane in them, although they're tier 10 planes, there's only 1 of them. Their torpedo squadrons only have 2 or 3 planes in them, same with the dive bomber squadrons. So in order to balance the game modes, they take 4 ships off the enemy team, and they also go ahead and they nerf the fighter squadrons. Now, if our team can win this battle, we end up winning a whole bunch of like 25 different standard flags for 3 different options that you can get. And that's the whole Halloween event that is currently going on within World of Warships. The second thing that this video is showing off is the new Fujin class destroyer. This is what I'm actually captaining here. This is the Japanese premium tier 5 destroyer, which I just picked up last night when I recorded this video. This was the third round that I took the Fujin out in. And we're going to talk a little bit about why I picked up a premium ship here a little bit later on, but first let's just talk about the Fujin itself. The Fujin is essentially the Minikaze. They're almost 1-for-1 the exact same ship. They have a few slight differences. The Fujin is a little bit better of an artillery ship only because it has a slightly better turret rotation. So the Fujin's turrets will rotate 180 degrees in 25.4 seconds, I believe. It's a little over 25 seconds, whereas the Minikaze's turrets rotate at 30 seconds even. Other than that, they do the same damage, they have the same rate of fire, they fire the same projectile type, and everything like that. The Minikaze is a little bit faster, where the Fujin tops out at like 37.5 knots. The Minikaze tops out a little over 39 knots, which is about 2 kilometers an hour faster. The Minikaze also has notably better AA defenses, and that's saying something because the Minikaze doesn't have very good AA. The Fujin essentially has no AA at all. It's worthless when it comes to AA. So, why would you get the Fujin? Well, because it's a premium ship. And so I've put about 100 hours into World of Warships at this point. I've played quite a bit of it, and I'm getting to that break point where I can't make credits if I'm trying to level up. Basically, I have... Hold on a sec. Excuse me. Basically, I have quite a few tier 5 ships, and I'm working into the tier 6 now. I'm about to purchase my tier 6 Cleveland American cruiser. I'm about ready to purchase my tier 6 Japanese destroyer, and there's several different points. And what I found out is, while the beginning first 60 hours of World of Warship is pretty darn good, you can play the game completely free, and you're going to be unlocking things at a relatively good level. You're going to be breaking in the income pretty quick. Around tier 5, it starts to almost become about an even wash. Tier 6, unless you're successfully coming out of every battle, surviving and sinking, you're going to probably lose a little bit of credits. And then from what I understand, 7, 8, 9, 10, basically in order to make money at tier 10, you need to basically wipe out the entire enemy team and survive the battle in order to earn much credits, or be using standards to boost your credits. And here we go, first torpedo hit, good hit on that battleship. So, with that in mind, basically I have 2 choices. Either I spend a lot of time grinding tier 3 and 4 ships for credits, or I buy a premium ship. And I've been wanting to buy the premium tier 5 Russian destroyer for a long time. I like destroyer gameplay, and the Gremyashki seems like the perfect ship for me. It's a well-rounded, both gunboat yet decent torpedo boat. Unfortunately, Wargaming.net decides they want to make some artificial scarcity. They won't sell the Gremyashki. I've been watching for it for about 2 months now. It hasn't gone on sale. The Fujin was about to come off sale in the next 24 hours. In fact, by the time this video goes up, it'll be up for sale for about another 10 hours, and then it is gone. And being that I liked forgot the name of it, the Minakaze. Since I liked the Minakaze quite a bit, I figured this was a good one where I would have that type of ship forever. It would be a good way to grind out credits. So I decided to drop the money and pick it up in order to provide me with income to move deeper within the game. Now, I'm not a big fan of this. I think this is where the luster of wargaming.net, and there's the first sunk battleship, there's going to be more of them in this, starts to lose a little bit. I appreciate a free-to-play game that lets you get into the game for free. I really do. I also appreciate that they need to be able to make revenue. I really do. But this artificial inflation of the cost to make it that your most dedicated players, the people that are working up to tier 8, 9, and 10, basically either need to grind a huge amount of hours or sink real-world money into it, I'm not a big fan of. It might be necessary. You know, I've never seen the numbers. I don't know who's investing money, who's just grinding out for hours on end. But I wish there was a way to do cosmetics or do something that was less game impactful, yet generated them the revenue they needed to make. Putting in this point where basically around tier 7 or 8, you're no longer going to be able to continue playing without grinding out lower tier ships, it just seems to neuter the high end of the game. It removes the appeal of the tier 8, 9, and 10. If you don't get anything from it other than enjoying that little bit of gameplay, I have a problem with it. But I did buy the Fujin, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm done spending money on World of Warships for the time being. I've put about $65 into the game now, and $65 for, like I said, I have about 100 hours of gameplay. That's not too bad. I can't overly complain. But I can see that if I want to really continue to push, that could easily turn into $100 to get 120 hours of gameplay, or it could turn into $200 to get 180 hours of gameplay. It could really escalate quite a bit. As for everything else in this match, well, the Fujin's a fun little destroyer. I enjoy, like I said earlier, I enjoy destroyer gameplay, both American and Japanese. They both have their own strengths. They need to be played slightly different, but they're a very high-risk, high-reward, strategic style gameplay. Where in a battleship, you kind of just need to be aware of your surroundings, watching for torpedo bombers, and then just shoot your big guns at anything. A destroyer is, when you take a destroyer out, there's like a 35% chance you're going to be the first one dead. You're going to sail forward, you're going to get detected by an enemy destroyer, there's going to be a Cleveland-class cruiser behind it, and it's just going to wipe you out in the first barrage. That happens way too much. But on the rare occasion where you do get into a good position, where you have firing support, where you're out in front scouting, but you have friendly cruisers behind you taking the focus of the enemy, and you can really get some torpedoes downrange, man, they can be satisfying. And like I said, that's why I justified the purchase of the Fujin. And I think if you like the Minakaze and you want just like a premium ship, the Fujin's not a bad purchase. I think if I was going to be honest with myself, that 5-second increased turret rotation doesn't make up for the loss of 2 knots of nautical speed, and it doesn't make up for the loss of anti-aircraft guns. And boy, that destroyer, you got to turn, buddy. You got to turn. You can't sail straight. I think he was going to beach himself. I wonder if he was AFK. But there we go. We're up to 3 kills now. Now, unfortunately, the rest of this map's going to play out fairly blandly. I never actually get within range of the Phantom carrier. Right now, if you watch chat, my enemy team, or my friendly team, they're yelling at each other, but they're about to sink the carrier. And it's kind of funny as they take a beating from the carrier's secondary guns, because it's a tier 10 ship. Its secondary guns beat the crap out of our friendly cruisers that are trying to sink it, but they do eventually take it down. And while they're doing that, I'm going to move in on this battleship here and see if I can go for number 4. Yeah, I still love World of Warships. I love this gameplay. You know, firing these torpedo volleys, there's not much better than this. Firing a big old battleship volley and getting citadels, there's not much better than this. And I want to play more of it. I'm going to continue to play more of it. man, wargaming.net, don't screw me. Don't screw us. You have a good game here. Don't nickel and dime it. Don't make it bad. But you're not going to listen to me. You are already one of the most profitable free-to-play companies, and you've done that with World of Warships. If you watch a lot of the critique of World of Warships, there's some really unbalanced premium tanks in there that they sell. They do that artificial, not inflation, but the artificial scarcity by only selling tanks at certain times. It's a real shame. I don't think I'm going to go back on my other videos where I say I think the game's good. I still do believe it is good, and I believe you can put in 50 hours of fun gameplay before you have to spend a dime. And for that reason, you might as well. And then at that point, you'll decide, like me, do you like the game enough to drop $60, you know, or are you done at that point? Both answers, I think, are pretty good. And up. Are my torpedoes going to make it in time, or is this guy going to sink? Boy, he just got rocked, didn't he? Friendly battleship must have citadel him because his health went from like 3/4 to 10% real fast. But here come the torpedoes. Here come the torpedoes. How's that volley looking? How's that volley looking? Come on. Come on. Come on. And there they are. They're looking good. They're looking. Oh yeah, you're screwed, buddy. You're screwed. Right before that volley hit. There we go. This last ship, I'll just tell you right now, that's how I end. I don't get a kill here. This other ship's just going to go down from enemy fire. I believe he gets citadeled from the destroyer. I think there's a Phoenix behind me, not destroyer, cruiser behind me. And you'll watch this guy. He goes from pretty high health to almost dead instantly. And that'll be about the end of it. So, I don't know. I did a lot of rambling here, but this was a fun little match. Some great destroys, 7 torpedo hits, 4 sunk ships. I enjoyed it, figured I'd show it off, and this should be the end of it. So, until next time, this has been Paler. Thanks for watching.